Hi, hello, I'm V. Today, I want to talk about how you should prepare for the IELTS listening test. I will cover 5 aspects of the IELTS listening test. First, I will cover the format of the test. Then, we'll look at the different sections you go through. After that, we'll look at the different types of questions you're likely to face during the test. Next, we'll listen to 2 short recordings of listening tasks. And finally, towards the end, I'll give you tips on what you should do for the test. Let's get started.
Okay, let's begin with the format of the test. The test is based around an audio recording. The recording lasts 30 minutes, which is the length of the test. However, you don't need to listen actively for the whole 30 minutes. The test itself is divided into 4 sections. Each section has 10 questions. So that makes 40 questions in total. Each question is worth 1 mark, so that will give a total of 40 marks. This means that each section is worth the same amount. So basically, you have to do well in all sections rather than focusing on one target section. The 30-minute time limit includes time for reading the questions. Then you listen to the recording. Time is also built in for you to write down your answers. Finally, you'll be given time to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Be careful here because mistakes in transferring will cost you marks. Okay, let's now look in detail at the 4 sections in the test. One important thing to remember is that each section gets progressively more difficult in terms of the complexity of the content and vocabulary used. The first section is structured like an informal conversation. For example, it could be about a student going to study overseas and talking to an estate agent about renting accommodation there. The second section is one person talking in a non-academic context. For example, this could be a short talk about the catering arrangements during a conference. The third section becomes a bit more academic. You will have up to 4 people discussing a topic, and the topic will be related to an academic theme. For example, this could be students discussing a homework assignment with their tutor. The 4th section is usually a lecture-style monologue. The content of this section is the most challenging in the test. However, if you are a university student and you have listened to lectures in English, this part should not be too difficult for you. Okay, let's move on to the questions. IELTS questions will come in a variety of different forms. One is multiple choice questions. You choose either answer A, B, C, or D. In another type, they will give you a sentence, and you have to complete the last few words. They may give you a table with some information missing, which you have to complete. There could be a plan of a room, and you have to label the items within the room. You could be given sets of words, and you have to classify them according to what people say. Or it could be a matching exercise. You won't get all of these tasks, but you will get some of them. For the first section, you will usually be asked to fill in some missing information. It could be, for example, filling in a room plan or completing a table. With the example of a student talking to an estate agent, you could be asked questions about the rent costs, the size of the flat, and other types of facilities. For the other 3 sections, the questions usually require you to fill in words or numbers in the blank spaces provided. You should always follow the instructions carefully. For instance, if the instruction says 3 words or less, do not write more than 3 words. If, however, the answer is a number, you can simply fill in the complete number. Okay, let me give you some examples of some questions that you may be asked. Have a look at the first one. In the mornings, the student teachers will... Okay, we have to try to guess the missing words. Now, we don't know exactly what the speaker will say, but we can try to make a prediction. We know that because the question uses the word will, it should be followed by a verb. So we know it's a verb form, and we can have up to 3 words, so it could be verb and verb. And we can also have a good guess about what a student teacher is likely to do. In this example, you would hear the answer read aloud in the recording. Since you have already read the question to yourself, you should know what sort of information you're listening out for to make your listening more effective. The second example question is, student teachers could be teaching large classes with up to... Again, here we've got a missing word or words, but we don't know exactly what the answer is. The phrase up to suggests the next part is going to be a number. One possibility is that it's going to be the number of